Hello folks, and welcome to Behind the Weebs, a look at behind the scenes of what goes on at SunnyCon Anime Expo. And today, it's a beautiful day, spring's in the air, summer is right round the corner, and we are getting prepared. So, this topic will be a look at what's going on behind, updating like where we are with our different events. I don't know whether to call it just updates or current what's going on. And today I'm actually going to focus not on our Newcastle event, but our Liverpool event, which is our first time in Liverpool. It's going to be August the 10th and 11th, and it's starting from scratch. It's been said before, we are starting from scratch with Liverpool. It's a new venue, it's a new city, it's a whole new region of the United Kingdom, and this is our first big test of plans for expansion and what we're doing. So first off, it's been a weird kind of build up because we always focus on Newcastle because Newcastle is the next event. We've got to focus on, what comes next. But we've always had this like one eye looking towards Liverpool, and we knew that because we booked it for August, so like June, then we've got July, and then August, and then 2 months gap. So it's a strange one for us because this is a new experience. Whenever we've run like 2 or 3 events a year, it's always been like a chippy sunny, and it's always been in the northeast. So we are well out of our comfort zone for this, and we don't want to be one of those events that we have like events here, there, everywhere, and we don't, we spread ourselves way too thin, and it's basically the same event in just a different city. We don't want to be that. We want each event to have its own identity, its own kind of individual charm and unique selling points, and that's what we're working towards with Liverpool. And we've been a bit quiet on it because obviously that's August, and we've got more focus on what's going to happen in June. So first off, the event is going ahead. This was something that we experienced way back in 2011, 2012 when we first started SunnyCon in Sunderland. There were rumours going around that we weren't going to run, the guests weren't going to arrive, traders and artists tables aren't selling, we're not selling any tickets, the event's not going ahead. And I find it bizarre that that people like come forward and like, oh, I've heard from a friend that the event's getting cancelled. It's like, but why are we advertising it if it's being cancelled? Well, why are we still pushing? Oh, and it's a way because like we get people saying like, oh, you're advertising a lot. Are you desperate for traders? And I was like, well, isn't every event desperate for traders? We're desperate for ticket sales. They're desperate for ticket sales. Advertising does not equate to desperation. Advertising is actually like, well, we've sat down, we've thought about it, we've set aside a separate budget, the money's there. Advertising an event shouldn't like equate to desperation. Advertising an event should be like, well, they've got the money and they've thought about it, so yeah, it's well organised. At least that's for me. But like I say, this was back in 2012 when like, oh, the rumours are the guests aren't going to arrive. We'd never run an event. We had no like reputation. We weren't known at all. All we were up against was like us flyering and random rumours on the internet, which is, and it's rearing its head again, this kind of like community rumours of like, oh, SunnyCon Liverpool, I heard it's being cancelled. And we've had people actually come forward and ask that on our page, and I was like, oh, I heard table sales aren't going well. It's like, who's saying these things? We're not saying these things. And it's a bizarre situation that people are equating like, oh, you're advertising for trader tables, you've dropped the price. The reason we've dropped the price for trader tables is because we've looked at our 2 events. Newcastle has a 3 days and trader tables were £100, and Liverpool was 2 days and it was £150. And we done that initially because the Liverpool venue is slightly more expensive than St James's Park, but that's because it's an established like centre in Liverpool. So what's happened is we've had to take in our costs to that and say, oh, well, X amount of money, we might need to bring in more from trader sales. I think like MCMs and the Hyper Japans and that, they charge £300 to £400 for a trader's table. So it's like kind of like £150. I still think that would have been a reasonable price, but we can't justify running a 3-day event that's more established and giving them for £100 when it's like a 2-day event for £50 more. So what we did was we looked at it, we assessed it, we thought, well, traders are going to be going through tough times as well, so we dropped our price to match Newcastle's. Yes, it might be a day less, but it's a much bigger venue. Like I say, for us, the costs, and we've got to bring the costs back in other ways. And with it being a first time event, we thought, why not just match it? By no means is it desperation, because we look at it. We've been traders ourselves, and we've said, look, we'll drop it down. We'll match the table price. Going forward, we'll have to see, because we're now at that point in the business where we're earning about enough to hit the VAT threshold, which brings another whole layer of our prices may have to go up 20% because we're going to have to start paying VAT. On the plus side of that is that we get VAT back on the thousands and thousands of pounds that we spend on venues and different hires and whatnot, but that'll be offshot against ticket sales, trader tables or whatnot. So that's going forward. We're kind of got one eye on the VAT, but by no means is Liverpool cancelled. Absolutely far from it. We are pushing really hard now. We are at the stage where we're getting our first plans finalised, and basically the venue sent over a little blueprint of what space we have to use, and we're placing tables here and there, staging what's going to be where. And with it being like an open hall, it's a lot more different to Newcastle, because Newcastle's, we already had like a plan from where we've had trader tables, and we already had like all the tables set out, and we know just like nitpicking here and there, moving tables around. With Liverpool, it's from scratch. It's just starting afresh. So we have this whole blank canvas, and we're just like putting tables here and there. Is an island of tables going to be here? Do we need the stage here? And trying to minimise, because the stage is going to be in near traders and artists. And one of the things that we learned from previous SunnyCons, especially SunnyCon 2, was there's a noise factor there. We don't want people like being put off from going to traders, and with noise being too loud for traders and artists. So there's that balance to get right. Luckily, the Liverpool venue is huge, and they've got great volume control. I believe SunnyCon 2, we hired in a DJ who would not turn it down. So so that was, we've learned lessons, that there's mistakes we can use for this event. Also, we're starting to take in fan panels. So if anybody in Liverpool or wants to host anything in Liverpool, if you've got fan panels, you can look at that and give it a go. It'll help us pad out our timetables. Guests were the easiest thing. Guests were like, oh, we want these people to come to Liverpool and that, and they're booked. David Matranga, Stephanie Young, they're booked. They're sorted. That's the easy part. You think, oh, you're going to have to go out and get different guests. No, easy part, guests. And another thing that we have to figure out on is, because it's not just the main hall we also have like a operational room, there's a room upstairs, there's the atrium, and ticketing as well. And finally, it'll be tickets, really, selling tickets, advertising, because we have to build up this new audience in Liverpool and in the Northwest in general, because all of our attendees mainly focused in North East Scotland, some from Europe, and a cluster from the Midlands, and dotted about a few from other places. So it's a weird one for us when we hear the rumours like, oh, somebody said that, you're not going to run ahead. First, obviously it's absolutely untrue, and it's a lot of BS. And secondly, it's like, why would you believe rumours over like the actual company itself? Like, we as SunnyCon, any updates we put, it's on our website, it's on our social media. Why trust rumours over that? I mean, we've pretty much established ourselves. We've been going for nearly a decade now, and we're not gonna, if we cancel as soon as if that was a situation for us to cancel, we'd have to inform you immediately, and we're not cancelling. It's as plain as that. SunnyCon Liverpool's going ahead, and it's weird. It's strange to think, because like I said at the start, we had exactly the same problem with rumours, and all we can say is just don't believe anything unless it comes from us. Everything else is just gossip, really. And we hope it doesn't hamper, because people can be put off by rumours like, oh, that's not going ahead, and I don't think I'll buy a ticket, and that people wait till the last second, and when we are running ahead, and we're like sitting there like, well, I wish we had a little bit more budget if only people bought tickets earlier. So it's kind of counterproductive to support an event if you hear like rumours and like want to hold off, and that's something that could actually stop an event. I mean, if we were a lot smaller, I'd be concerned, but like I say, we're fine. We're going ahead. We are advertising. We are promoting. There'll be a lot of promotion for SunnyCon Liverpool at SunnyCon Newcastle, and obviously we still have to push SunnyCon Newcastle. It's just that Liverpool, with it being the new one, it has to get that little extra bit more attention now, because it's from scratch. We've got panel rooms to sort out, the layouts, the hallway, all getting sorted out. So it's all going smoothly at the moment. And with VIP tickets, I think we're down to our last like 10, 9, 8, whatever at the moment, because it's a different ticketing system. We use Ticket Quarter for Liverpool and Eventbrite for Newcastle. And with Ticket Quarter, rather than with Eventbrite, we have an app which constantly updates us. Like as soon as you buy a ticket, we get an email. With Ticket Quarter, it's their side of it. They send us like a daily report of how many tickets have sold, and we just sit there and read it. And that's a different approach, because Ticket Quarter, we're attached to the exhibition centre, and they've got a reputation, and obviously having less hassle with like the tickets on our side. So all we have to do is share the link, and hopefully people keep buying. And that's pretty much it for like an update on Liverpool. Update on Newcastle, everything's going great as well. So we are smooth, and we are progressing, and we're now in March, which is the time we usually see Newcastle tickets start going, and we have had we are coming off the back of the best February in ticket sales throughout our history, and that's like, that's promising, because if February's good, then March is going to be good, and April and May. And I don't want to like kind of jinx ourselves with it, but we are looking for another record attendance, and that's always been a thing, because we do grow year on year on year on year, and obviously more revenue we can plough into it, and we're happy that people are buying tickets early again, and now they're buying them in volume. So our thing is now to get people to focus on getting them round about now, rather than leave it at the last minute, because we have a situation in Newcastle with the hotels where we have block books through the Newcastle Convention Bureau, and them hotels, I believe we sold out of our allocation for the Sandman within a month, and they've added more allocation onto that. So if you want to book through us, go on our website, go on our hotels part. For Liverpool, we have base apartments at the moment, but we're looking to expand that into more hotels. But for Newcastle, like I say, more people are using it, more people are booking ahead. And it's not just our attendees, there's another event on Plate Day at the race course, and a lot of people stay over in Newcastle for that. So we're telling our attendees now, beat all the horse race fanatics to it. Book your hotels now. There's pay on the day options there, so there's not a need to like whip out hundreds of pounds for a hotel that you're going to be using in June. You can pay on the day, and it's a big stress off your mind if you can book now early. And same with tickets, book them. We're going to be releasing the signings and the guest appearance ones for Newcastle soon. We're just trying to get details through for that, for the professional photo shoots especially. And that's pretty much it at the moment. That's all the updates. Like I say, our focus is on Liverpool a little bit more at the moment, but we're in March, and April, May, June, bang, it's going to be there. We've got a quarter of a year left, and this is our busiest time. And for us, it's promotions, it's selling now. This is our thing. We have panels set in place, we have the guests set in place, the layouts are pretty much done right now. It's just selling tickets and getting the money in and paying things off, and that's it for the moment. And hopefully it'll get even busier as the days go on, and it's just nice to keep you informed as to what's going on, because I know I've touched on like different subjects like what goes on outside, but now we're into the part of planning and preparation where it's like, this is action time now. This is the busy behind the scenes. This is where things are going. I can't like anecdotally look back at like what's happening because things are happening now. So it's all exciting, and I hope you guys are excited. I hope you've got your cosplay sorted. I hope you've got yourself organised, because we don't want con crunch anymore. Con crunch it's detrimental to your health, and we want to eradicate that. It's not something that should be, oh, I'm last minute. This is like, no, you'll stress, you'll get depression, you'll have anxiety, and it'll make your convention experience worse. So get yourself sorted now. Take 5 minutes. If you're going to, not just our event, any event at all, you know, take yourself to the other side, about 15 minutes, write down, organise and prioritise what you need to make that like the smoothest weekend possible. You know, give yourself some me time. Don't stress over it. Don't wait till the last second, because it can harm you. And that's one of the big things we're going to be pushing. We're going to be pushing a focus more on attendee health, because there's so many times in the past where we've had complaints about our event, but the complaint isn't about our running of the event, our organisation. It's about the experience they had. And when we get down to the root of it, the most, like 99% of the time, the complaint's more to do with like they haven't taken care of themselves, or they've like been too stressed over the weekend, and we can't really accommodate. We can't give everyone a back massage when they enter. It's been suggested actually, but it's we can't de-stress you. You have to do so much. You have to look up like potential weather, dress accordingly, make sure you're well fed, you're well hydrated, you're organised, your cosplay's in one piece. You don't have that stress, and that's you know, that's a part of the bargain for you. We'll make the event, you know, well run, organised, on time, great panels, great content, guests you'll never see at other events, guests doing things that you won't see in general. And this should be like one weekend of fun and excitement and you know, you should have all the positive feelings for the event rather than just negative ones. And we're going to focus on that. And like I say, it's go time. Get ready, get sorted. I hope this has been educational to some degree, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.